Hey, I wanted to tell you about all this damn phone hacking, man. My phone hacking stories. I think I've touched on it briefly, but I'm gonna tell you all the ways that they were hacking my phone. I have some certifications in CompTIA and TIA Plus, and some other certifications, so I could find out how they were doing it. Now, I mean, I'm not like advanced, I'm not like expert hacker, but man, they would do so much, especially when I had an Android phone. And they did it different ways, man. Somehow they were able to remotely put files on my phone. Like, I would find them hidden inside the files folders. I had to turn the hidden files on, and then I would find hidden files, and I would delete them, and they would keep putting them back. And then when I would delete them, they would leave me like blank text files or whatever, saying that I'm relentless, because I would just keep going all day, just deleting them off my phone. And they would just keep putting it back. And other ways that they were doing it, they would send me like a long digit, 8-digit text, 8 or 9 digit text, and it would claim to be from AT&T or from Google or somewhere, but it's not, because most big companies that send you text, they use like short code text, like 4 digits. I would get those, and as soon as it goes through, the text goes through, it would automatically infect my phone. So I'd have to keep blocking the text, or they would store it on your backup, on my backup. So every time I reset my phone, it'd be on the backup. They would store it, or it would store in my SIM card, like, because your SIM card backs up the text. Then I would find apps installed like that wasn't the real apps, and I would remove the apps, and I would keep removing all this shit, and they would just keep putting it back. But to me, it was funny. I was playing the game back, but man, they started getting smarter, man, because I started putting because I would use anti-hacking apps on the Play Store, and it'll detect them and show you everything, but they got to where it was getting harder to detect, and and it was getting to where I couldn't see what files that they hid on my phone. Like, so I would have to open up. Now I would have to put it in safe mode. I would have to turn my phone off or restart it in safe mode, and then I could go in and find the files that were put in on my phone, and or to see the apps that they put on my phone to show in safe mode, because it wouldn't load up. It would just load up the basic services and stuff, and I was able to find it then. Then they would put another way that they would do it is they would do it through email somehow, because especially on Android, it's all Google related. I hate Google because of it. Or another crazy thing they would do, man, they would hack some of my pictures that I had saved on my phone, or they would put files in my pictures or ways to hack it, and I would have to go through the pictures and delete them, because it would be different. It would be the same picture, but the name of the picture would change, and it would be something else. And you can look at the dates and timestamps on these pictures and see when they were edited and changed. Man, I would find what do you call those apps? I would find apps disguised on my phone. It's called stalkerware, but what it would be is it would be disguised like MSpy or FlexiSpy apps, because they're supposed to be used for parents to monitor the children so they can put it on their kids' phones to watch them. I would find those type of apps on my phone. Then, man, once I started figuring it out, they started putting them as services on my phone. Like it would look like a legitimate service, but it wasn't. It'd be like two of the same services, but one of them wasn't the real one. Or it would be an app. It would be one of the apps, but they would make the app to where it loads up as a service, so I couldn't delete it. Man, because they would root your phone, even though I never had my phone unlocked or anything. They could still root it and take over the device, even though it wasn't unlocked. Man, so they just kept getting smarter and smarter. Once I started getting into safe mode, they started to be able to make it where the app would load up in safe mode where they can monitor me. Because I would surf the internet in safe mode. I was like, man, they getting ridiculous. Then another way that they did it, once it started to get where the anti-hacking apps couldn't find it. One thing I did learn was you can disable some of the Google apps, like the Google Play Store. And then once I would disable that app, I could find it again, and I could find the hidden files again. Then they started to where if they want to show it, because they knew how I was doing that. This shit is crazy, man. So I would boot it into safe mode and then disable the app, and then I was able to pick up the apps again, or disabling the Google apps, the Google Play Store, the anti-hack could pick it up. And then once I would remove it again, they started getting smarter. So then I would disable the Google Play Store app, and then I would also disable the Google Play Store service, both of those together. Then I could find and remove the app again. So they started getting smarter, and I would do this in safe mode too. And they just kept getting smarter. So I would they started putting it in my phone somehow as a certificate. And you have to go through the security settings to see your signed certificates. They would make it like a legitimate certificate, but it would monitor my fucking phone. And I couldn't remove it because they put it inside the root folder, which I couldn't get access unless I rooted my phone. And I couldn't root it because it was a brand newer model. And I tried, and for some reason it wouldn't work, but I couldn't get it unlocked. But they got to where they stored everything in the damn root folder. It's shit, man. You can't make this up. And people were like, "Oh man, you have to be the president for somebody to hack your phone." Don't nobody want to hack you? Yes, they do, especially criminals. And to screw around with you. People do it all the time, believe it or not. And I'm starting to realize this, man. And it's always perpetrators that has to complain about it. In any group, like when I went to iOS message boards and forums and Android forums, there would be people complaining about similar things. But the only comments that you would see on any of them is similar comments that they post in these targeted individual groups about how, oh, you're not the president, you're not important enough. Nobody wants to do that. Yes, they do. Like business owners do it. Management does it to their employees. People that don't like you. Companies do it. People that are bored hate other people for no reason. A lot of people do it, man. Believe it or not. And I'm starting to realize this. So if anybody says that, they're either stupid or they're perpetrators. Because criminals do it all the time, man. I mean, people's phones get hacked, credit cards get hacked, stolen, numbers get stolen all the damn time. So how can they sit there and say that you're not important enough? Well, obviously some people are, or they wouldn't be doing it, or they're just bored. And people that have the ability to do it, because it's not rocket science to do this shit, man. All you got to go for a lot of it. Hell, you don't even have to learn how to hack, man. You could used to back in the day, you could go to the piratebay.org, torrent website, and you can download the damn tools to do it already for you, already built. Or you can just do some damn research online and go buy FlexiSpy and put it on somebody's phone. Man, you give them their damn phone number and boom, they put it on the phone. A stalkerware app, any stalkerware app, man, they can do it remotely. So so you don't have to be important. Anybody that knows about it or has access to it, or that's smart enough, don't need to take a damn course in this shit. And I emailed the hell out of Android and iOS, showing them how they're doing this shit, telling them how they're doing this shit, sending them screenshots that they're doing this shit. I sent it into the government, everything, man. And it's like, it's crazy. AT&T, I showed them how they were doing it, man, because these companies, AT&T, Samsung, Android, Apple, iOS, they cannot secure their phones. None of it is secure. Nothing is secure. Especially if somebody's using a Stingray, man, it don't take rocket science to use that shit either. Hell, you go watch a video on YouTube. Hell, they'll show you in a damn 30-minute clip how to do it. And other ways I would get hacked is through the damn Wi-Fi, because all you gotta do is go download Wireshark or another application like Wireshark. Hell, you can go into the damn router settings and see the websites that people visit, or download Wireshark and put it on your damn computer, and you can see everything that somebody types. You can connect to their damn Wi-Fi, and boom. This shit ain't rocket science, and it ain't hard. And I think there are some more ways. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. But man, I would constantly get them off of my phone, and they'd be pissed because they'd have to do it again, even though it would take them 5 minutes as soon as I got them off. And I would keep doing it. But I switched to Apple, man, because I did it through a warranty. I filed a warranty saying, man, the Samsung phone's messing up, it ain't working. Give me an Apple, and it's just a little bit secure. They can still get on it and see everything, but they can't do everything on an iOS device that they can on Android. Thank God, because man, I would sit there all day long and mess with them, take screen recordings, everything, and I sent them all in to everybody. And AT&T want to look at me like I'm dumb and say, we can't find any signs. I just told you. And I asked the lady, I said, are you equipped to deal with this? No, I'm just a corporate or whatever. This is the president's office. This is as far as you can go. Or, man, they wouldn't even send it in to cybersecurity. Well, I think they claimed that they had somebody look at it from that department, but they said they couldn't find them, or one of their techs or something, because they're not certified in that shit. That's why they can't figure it out. And hell, they probably knew about it. They probably knew. Somebody probably called them and told them. I don't know, but if anybody gets anything from this, I hope they can learn something. But man, I'm not sure how they get in on it on the iOS device, besides the ways I mentioned, because with iOS, it's a lot harder to figure out how they're doing it, because you don't have access. You don't have as much access to iOS as you do an Android phone. So you can't look through everything like you can on Android, which is how I would figure a lot of it out. But you can try the methods I used. If anybody's smarter than me on this subject, maybe y'all can learn something and do something with it. Man, but it was crazy. But it did teach me a lot too. With especially the ways I already knew how to do some things, I did learn a lot. But if I can think of anything else, I'll be posting it on here. But there's just so many different ways that they can do it, man. And the thing is, they're not going to stop doing it. They're just going to keep on. But if you got the time on your hands, man, you can sit there and keep taking it off all day and then put it back on and take them off. Because I was doing that shit. It was kind of funny. But the point is, they're not going to stop hacking. You know, once they hack you and you get them off, they're gonna do it again. And you can take it to a shop and have it flashed, to have them reflash the whole device where they take everything off and wipe the memory. Oh, because that's another big thing. Most of it is saved in the memory. So I know with Android, even when you reset your device, it still stays in the memory regardless. And probably the same thing with Apple. But I think with Apple, it reset every time you reset the phone. It clears the memory, and then they just have to put it back on. But with Android, it stays on the damn memory, and you can't access it because it's root level. Because we don't have as much access to the phone that these damn perpetrators have, and that's one of the biggest problems. Unless you root your Android phone. But even nowadays, Android is getting a hell of a lot harder to root, especially Apple. They're making it a lot more stricter, a lot more harder. When I tried to root my Android phone, I even went and bought a Samsung 5 that is rootable. And with everything my Windows 11 would not let me root it at all. And I don't know if that's because my laptop was being hacked, which that was being hacked too. But man, it's like everything's changed these days. Like you can't root nothing, or they somehow got it blocked. Especially with the newer phones, so you'll have to buy a rooted device. But with the rooted device, you can have more control over it. But everything stays stored in the RAM, and so you're not going to be able to get it off unless you take your phone somewhere and have it reflashed, or you learn how to reflash it yourself. And when I took my damn phone up to one of the computer stores out here, they tried to jit me, man. They brought my phone out. I waited for hours, man, and they called me, said it was ready. I went there and looked, and everything was still on the damn phone. They didn't reflash it or nothing. Because before I had left to turn it in, one of the damn perpetrators, gangstalkers, went in the store when I went out to the car to call my warranty on it so they could pay for it. He went inside and gave them the fucking rundown. It was a skinny old dude driving a older Jeep Bronco or something. Hell, I can't remember. Tall, dark-headed dude. I think he had sunglasses on and a hat, maybe. Because when I went back in there, they were calling me by my damn username I made up for my damn YouTube channel. And I was like, how the hell? And I said that dude that went in, as soon as I walked out of the store, he went inside to give them the damn rundown. So they didn't flash my damn phone. And then when I told them that they didn't, they said, oh, well, come to find out it's not working right. We still waiting on it to download. No, they wasn't. They was lying. But these are the things you can do. But even if you reflash it and take everything off, even if you do it yourself, they're still going to get right back on it until these phones get more secure or we have more control over our phone or something. And even then, they're still going to do it. I'm sure they'll find another backdoor in. But nothing is secure these days. Nothing.